The first item on the agenda is discussion of the Veterans Cemetery, and we have Dennis Solberg here to, if you'll come up to the microphone, Dennis, and let us hear what you have to say.
Con? Yeah, I guess so. We just thought we'd come up and give you a brief summary of where we're at with the Veteran Cemetery. We've been working hard behind the scenes, but we haven't really put out any information so far. We've been busy trying to get estimates on all the things that are necessary to be done to make it a reality. And one thing that I did talk to Justin a few minutes ago, we did get a letter back in February with the council's approval to go forward with this if we can raise the money, and it's signed by Steve Thorson, so we would like to bring that up to date with Sarah's signature on it, and we plan on showing people once we start the fundraising that we do have the support of the city to go forward if we do on our end what we've said we were going to do. And so far what we've done is we've surveyed the land, and we've test drilled 4 or 5 holes to see the consistency of the land, whether it's conducive to a cemetery. And we also have had a pH balance on the land to make sure that it's good for growing grass, and the conservation person that did that for us said it's excellent land for growing that. We do need some fairly high cost things. Down the road we need irrigation system. We need water hookup for it. We thought we were going to be able to drill a well and provide water that way, but there's too much iron in the water, and they would say our headstones would probably turn red after a while. So we're going to plan on hooking up the city water. And we have talked to utilities about it, and we've got a little more work to do on that end. I know I've had some people that have asked where is it yet. Some people don't know where it's at, but I think most people know it's just east of City Park, where Winter Wonderland was, and that. There's about 29 acres there. We plan on carving out 5 acres for the cemetery. We think that'll last anywhere from 10 to 20 years before it's full, and then we'll be able to expand it then beyond that 5 acres. We plan on putting a road through there, a one-way road, and we'll have nice signage, kind of like Veterans Memorial has on each entrance. One entrance as you exit and one that you come into. And I guess we're going to leave it more up to questions. If you have any questions on anything so far, that's kind of a real brief summary, and I know you don't have time to go into real detailed information about the cemetery, but we would like to meet with anybody that would like more details on it. We would be.
Dennis, I have a question. You've got the exit at Highway 20 right turn only. Have you visited with the state DOT on that?
Yes, yeah, and we have a permission or a authorization that we have to fill out to give to them, and the engineer that we talked to felt that was a good way to do it.
As long as it hits at a 90-degree angle, they're okay. We have a right turn only there. I think I've got that. I put one of these in front of your desk here, kind of a brief description of it all.
And I guess Don Recano, he didn't introduce himself, or I'm sorry I didn't introduce him, but he's another Vietnam veteran that's working hard at this with us, and we got a committee that's putting in a lot of time to get this hopefully accomplished.
Councilman Roby, I would like to add that I also had a conversation with the state quite a while ago when this was first being discussed, and good news is that there's enough distance between existing driveways that they'll allow us another full access driveway here too, if that becomes a part of the program. So it should work.
And they'll require a stop sign, I assume?
Yep.
It's not going to be yield or?
Right.
Dennis, what kind of, I mean, we see your sketches and your layout. I mean, what kind of dollar amount at this point are you looking at as far as construction costs?
Yeah. We're looking at trying to raise all the money ourselves, basically, other than the maintenance. I would love to say I'll maintain it for years to come, but I don't know whether I'll be around. There is a commission and a committee down south near Sioux Falls that is also trying to get a veteran cemetery in, but they would like to go through the state, and the state has declined to do anything with it at this point. We feel we have the big advantage of doing it with Watertown and kind of follow the procedure that Black Hills National Cemetery went through. They started their cemetery first, and then they asked for VA to come in and make it a national cemetery. We're only one of 5 states that don't have a state veteran cemetery. So, and the 2 cemeteries, one in Minneapolis at Fort Snelling and the one in at Sturgis, is the closest ones. And we think we're in a perfect position to have a veteran cemetery right in between them. We do know some people that were buried out in Black Hills that I'm sure would have loved, because of family reasons in the area, to be buried locally here.
So just to make sure I heard right then, so you're not really looking for any costs from the city as far as for the construction of this itself?
At this point, we're going to try to raise all the money ourselves, except for the maintenance.
The maintenance?
Yeah.
Which I know we've talked about that before. Any ballpark idea on that?
Yeah, we did talk with Pinky Burns, who does South Lake Drive and North Lake Drive other than the highway. And he said that it would cost him about an hour's work at $225 to do that. And the city removed snow 10 times this year that were 2 inches or more. So we're figuring $2,250. And I remember being on the council, we set aside $300,000 each year for snow removal. Sometimes we didn't use it all. Sometimes we went over and had to add some to that budget.
Okay, but there would then be also, summer maintenance,
Mowing.
Watering, which you said you'd be hooked up to utilities.
That would probably be all automatic on a timer, the watering. The mowing would, and we did get a private quote on mowing just to give us an idea. And that was $550 a time. And we think that was a little bit high, so that would, let's see, 550 times, we usually start mowing in May, June, July, August, September, and October. So 6 months times the 550 times 4 would, and I don't have that figure. Did you have that done?
No.
Okay. Anyway, we're 1/8 or 1/10 of the size of Mount Hope Cemetery, and you appropriate about $183,000 a year to the cemetery to operate Mount Hope, and we're going to be about 10% size of that. And we sat down and figured out, and I don't have the mowing charge, but it came out to be about 10% of what you appropriate for there. And I'm sure we can deliver on about that percentage.
Do you have a construction estimate, though, at this point?
Yes, we've got estimates on just about everything. Yeah, we can get you a copy of it.
Okay. Just roughly,
Mike.
I mean, you got a number there, Donna, on that as far as,
420,000.
for all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
120,000 for the excavation of the road and paving of the road. The pavilion there, 50,000. The first columbarium, 40,000. Flagpoles, 16,000. Life-size statues of 5 servicemen, 17,000. Trees, 5,000. Granite benches, 12,000. The gates at entrance and exit with pillars, 7,800. Irrigation. Now, some of these we estimated, because a lot of these companies are busy now, and they're very slow in getting back to us. Irrigation, 45,000. Seating, 16,000. Lighting for 4 flagpoles and 2 signs, 5,500. 2 flags for each pole, 800. Landscape rock and concrete edging, 2,500. Mike Davis, who's going to do all our sidewalks and the floor, and 2 5 by 30-foot signs, one at the exit, one at the entrance, which will be like concrete or stucco. And he'll also install the flagpoles for about 50,000.
And we're looking at it kind of like the Veterans Memorial. I believe that they went out and raised all their money for the Veterans Memorial, and we want to do the same thing. We don't want to, I guess, infringe or take tax money, and down the road we hope to raise all of that. We have some good ideas for fundraising and that, so.
Go
ahead.
Would this have a fence around it?
It all depends on the amount of money we raise. It's not necessary to have the fence around it. Usually the decorative fence doesn't keep deer out if they want to jump it, or gophers or anything away from that. We do have those in most cemeteries.
Dennis, what kind of time frame are you looking at raising the money, and when do you want to start on this?
We were hoping to start this spring, but it's just taken a lot longer than we thought to get estimates. They're just like all the estimates that we got there is taking quite a bit of time, and then we would get like on the water issue and find out we had a well, the information for a well and everything, and then that got us sidetracked, so now we go to city water. So there's been a few setbacks that we have had, but we feel pretty confident that this is pretty accurate money, and that we have a chore to get it done, but I think we can get it done with your help as far as not necessarily financial other than the maintenance, but to help us in any way that you can with the letter that we can send out showing that the city is behind this. And I think it's a very worthwhile project, and I think it's something that is needed in eastern South Dakota.
So Dennis, do you think that Sioux Falls will back out if we are moving forward?
They're running into some roadblocks. There's 2 ways of getting a veteran cemetery. The VA will come in, buy the land, do everything, pay for everything, and then they turn the keys, and then they say, you have to set aside this amount of money in order to maintain and go at it. And the state, with their shortage on sales tax, they've declined to even try to get a veteran cemetery down there. And the biggest hang up for them is the maintenance part. They have not found somebody that would perpetually take care of the maintenance. And I think that it's a low-cost thing for. I think it'll be a very good thing for Watertown, very good thing for all the veterans on the eastern part of the state, and we would like to go forward.
I think I've said it before, is that I think that this is, for your fundraising efforts, this is something that a lot of people would feel very strongly about getting behind. So I kind of think and know that you'll be successful. So.
Yes, we've already had some pledges, so we we think will do good.
Just a comment, the last couple times that you've been here, even though I'm a veteran, you probably recall I expressed some skepticism or, threw some cold water on this a little bit from my perspective, but I like more what I'm hearing this time compared to the last couple times, gentlemen. So I guess I'm optimistic this time that maybe we can go forward with this and see it get done.
And we appreciate all the support that council has given us in the past, and hope you can support us in the future. And we're ready to go to work fundraising.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Item 3 on the agenda is the CAFR presentation, and we're going to pull that off the agenda and do it at a later date. So moving on to item number 4, which is my initial 100-day plan. First of all, I'd like to say I'm deeply honored to have been elected mayor of Watertown. I'll do all I can to fulfill my role as a leader of this beautiful city. I will promote and facilitate city advancement as communicator to and spokesman for the council, the staff, and the citizens. I will act responsibly to fulfill the city's mission. I will direct the public works of our community with strategy, as well as with compassion to meet the needs of all of the citizens. The following 100-day plan that I'm going to show shows how I will begin my term and my efforts of developing Watertown into a stronger, more vibrant, and more satisfying place to live. So basically, I have 5 general goals. The first, to create a quality of life management strategy. The second, to establish an affordable housing framework. Goal 3, build a city organization optimization plan. Number 4, generate an economic health program. And finally, number 5, to report upon the state of the city of Watertown. So these are pretty broad general goals, and I've broken each of them into tasks which can be measured as to whether they're completed or not. Starting with my first goal, to create a quality of life management strategy, I will identify challenges for each current project in our quality of life plan, including the softball complex, ice arena, skate park, gun range, downtown two-way streets, and bike trail. And these are all at various stages of completion. I will write an action plan for each project's challenges. We'll create a list of future projects based upon the H2020 initiative that was completed. I'll also create a list of future projects based upon the downtown charrette. And I will identify if and where each future project fits in our long-term capital improvement program. My second goal is to establish an affordable housing framework. First, I'll form a land development and building cost reduction advisory team of developers, contractors, citizens, and staff. We will compose a brainstorm list of cost-cutting measures. I'll form a financing incentive advisory team of bankers, realtors, and staff, and compose a brainstorm list of program opportunity measures. My third goal is to build a city organization optimization plan. First of all, I hope to meet every single city employee and express the city's mission to everyone. I plan to attend at least one meeting of each board, and I hope to attend all of the board meetings as I'm able. I'll acquire an organization chart from each department, and I've already started that. I will identify troublesome ordinances and notify the council, because I believe we should enforce our ordinances or get rid of them if we don't need them. If we need them, we should be enforcing them. And list target areas upon which to focus improvement efforts. And these could be within individual departments or areas of concern. My fourth goal has to do with our economic health. I want to generate an economic health program. First, I'll create an economic growth advisory team, and then define the factors by which economic health will be measured. There are so many ways of measuring economic health, and I want to nail that down to describe the baseline condition so that we can know that we're progressing in the future. You've heard about these 4 goals throughout my campaign. And then finally, my 5th goal is to report upon the state of the city of Watertown. And I hope to do that at the end of the 100-year period. The end is October 13, that's a Friday. And October 16th, there's a council meeting. So I hope to give a report at that October 16 council meeting as to the status of the city at that time. And so I expect to take these 4 key areas and continuously devise future plans to move forward. It doesn't sound like a lot, but 100 days isn't very much time. So I'll be able to measure whether or not I've done these things. And I know I'll have the support of the council and staff moving forward to do that. Okay. Are there any other future agenda items?
Just want to compliment you on your plan.
Thank you. No other agenda oh, sorry.
I guess I would just like to say too, as far as council support, I've said it to you, I've said it to Mayor Thorson. I think part of our job as council members is to make you look good, and I would think that the 10 of us are going to strive to do that for you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, well, seeing no other new items to come forward, we will adjourn, and we will come back together at 6:30 for the Canvas meeting.